The internet is straight up melting right now. And no, it's not over some silly rap beef or IG shade. It's because Remy Ma, the Remy Ma, just got arrested after her own son confessed to murder. And get this, he dropped her name, said she was involved. It's wild out here. And just when you think it couldn't get messier, boom! A jailhouse phone call leaks. You can hear Remy's voice, loud and crystal clear. And it sounds bad. The stuff she says on that call, it's the kind of thing that makes people hit rewind and ask, did she really just say that on a recorded line? This ain't no mixtape scandal. This is real-life drama with murder, secrets, and the justice system closing in. Now the buzz is, Remy might be swapping her high heels for prison slides, the whispers in the streets, loud, her fans, going off, and social media, straight up blowing up. Folks are in shock, wondering how the queen of loyalty ended up right in the middle of a deadly scandal. And trust, this is way bigger than anybody expected. Let's back it up for a second. What started as a typical homicide case has exploded into a full-blown hip-hop nightmare, and smack in the middle, Remy Ma, iconic rapper, proud mom, and now possibly an accomplice in a murder case? Yeah, you heard that right. This ain't no conspiracy or fan-fueled fantasy. It's all coming from real courtroom files, leaked records, and that viral jail call. Yep, the one that's been played over 12 million times in just 2 days. This is way past shocking. It's legendary chaos. So how did it all go left like this? Meet Jason, Remy Ma's 23-year-old son from a past relationship. He's always flown under the radar. No flashy ice, no drama online, the type to move silent. But now, his name's front and center in one of the wildest murder cases the game's ever seen. Jason just got booked on second-degree murder charges after a man named Daryl Tino Montgomery was found shot, execution style, in the back of a dark Newark, New Jersey parking garage. It was cold, ruthless. The surveillance footage was blurry and useless, so for weeks the case hit a dead end. That is, until Jason broke. Sources close to the case say the second detectives showed him cell tower data that put him near the crime scene. He folded like origami. And what he admitted took everything to a whole new level. He said, I wasn't alone. My mother helped me clean it up. Wait, what? Remy Ma? The same Remy Ma who once spent 6 years in Bedford Hills for shooting her own best friend over a few $1,000s? And now she's allegedly back in it again, only this time with her own son? People couldn't believe it. Social media went into absolute chaos. One shocked fan tweeted, "This is not the loyalty we meant when we said Remy was ride or die." Another posted, "She really said mom's gonna make it go away," and meant it. And while some folks joked, the NYPD wasn't laughing at all. Within hours, Remy Ma was arrested. No big scene, no statement, no dramatic standoff. Just pure silence and steel cuffs right outside a Harlem restaurant. Paparazzi swarmed like flies. One person even caught her on camera mouthing, "Tell Papoose to get the lawyer." And trust, we'll get to Papoose soon because he didn't stay on the sidelines. But for now, let's stay locked on this next part, because this story's only getting darker. Maybe she was just trying to protect her son, but that loyalty turned into straight up lock her up vibes real fast. See, Remy Ma didn't just get arrested, she got recorded. Hours after getting booked, a jail phone call leaked, and it was the kind of call that makes defense attorneys panic. In the call, allegedly to a close friend or maybe even a cousin, Remy said, "I told him to stay quiet, but now he wants to drag me down too." Boom! That one line flipped everything. Suddenly, it wasn't just Jason pointing fingers. It was Remy on tape, sounding like she knew what went down and tried to keep it quiet. Prosecutors ate it up. This wasn't rumor or street talk. It was a confession, a cover-up, a mother trying to keep her son safe, but putting herself in the line of fire. Now we're talking full-on family disaster, messier than anything Zeus Network could even imagine. And what makes it even wilder? This ain't Remy's first dance with the justice system. Let's rewind real quick. Back in 2007, Remy Ma was convicted for shooting her own friend after beefing over some missing cash. She did 6 years in Bedford Hills before getting out in 2014, claiming she'd turned her life around. But clearly, the past has a funny way of creeping back, especially when it's packed with bullets, secrets, and blood on the ground. One anonymous investigator dropped a bomb saying, "We believe Ms. Smith, aka Remy, had prior knowledge of her son's plan and helped clean things up after. Another added, "We've never seen a hip-hop figure cover for a murder like this. This is something else entirely." Nope, they didn't just hit her with obstruction. Prosecutors went all in and slapped Remy Ma with conspiracy to commit murder. That means they believe she was involved before the trigger ever got pulled. And if you think that's where it ends, strap in, because part 2 is about to get crazy. We're diving into the full leaked transcript from that jail call. Every line, every pause, every slip-up. Plus, the DA's new bombshell claim that Remy didn't just help clean up, she orchestrated the whole thing. And while the streets are talking, behind the scenes, Papoose is reportedly scrambling. Lawyers on speed dial, old posts disappearing, and insiders saying he's already cutting quiet deals. The second that jail audio dropped, game over. Not just for Remy's image, but for any shot she had at dodging court. The call's just under 2 minutes, but every second is heavy. You can hear her pacing. You can hear the shake in her voice, but that's not what sent the internet into a frenzy. It was what she said. "I told him to stay quiet. I told him not to trust nobody. I didn't think he'd actually confess." That was the line. Straight from the source. Ripped from a recorded jail call and blasted across gossip blogs and national news in less than an hour. People didn't wait for facts or legal statements. Social media served its own verdict. Fast. Clark's Free Remy started trending, but so did Remy Dunn. Fan pages split in half. Some said she was being set up, others were done with her. One tweet racked up millions of views. She did 6 years just to end up being an accomplice for her son? That's not loyalty, that's straight up stupidity. Prosecutors moved quick. They filed to use the audio in court, straight up calling it evidence of conspiracy. And behind those courtroom doors, a media storm was brewing. They knew what was coming. A full-blown televised trial. This wasn't just a murder case anymore. It was a national obsession. Papoose, Mr. Black Love, Mr. Forever My Queen, the man who stood by Remy's side through her first prison stretch, just vanished. No posts, no press, no interviews, just gone. But leave it to TMZ to find a crack in the silence. A source from Pap's team leaked a private message, a screenshot allegedly sent to one of his close friends. The text read, "I warned her. I told her not to get involved. I ain't doing this again." And just like that, the internet exploded. Was Papoose really about to walk away? The guy hailed as the most loyal man in hip-hop, finally done? Fans were shook. But while the relationship rumors flew, the case itself got even darker. Just 48 hours after Remy's arrest, court documents started leaking, and what they revealed was beyond damning. One file claimed that Remy's fingerprints were found on a trash bag pulled from a dumpster near the crime scene. Inside that bag, gloves, a hoodie, and a burner phone. The feds believe she helped toss the evidence. And it didn't stop there. Another affidavit dropped a bomb. Remember that too blurry surveillance footage? Prosecutors say it was digitally enhanced. And what they saw? A woman who looked a lot like Remy. Same build, same hairstyle, pacing behind a parked SUV just 10 minutes after the murder went down. It's not hard proof, but it was enough to put the defense team on edge. Meanwhile, Jason, the one who started all this, went ghost too. Right after his confession, he lawyered up and clammed up. But during a press briefing, prosecutors threw out a little tease. They might try to make him testify against his own mother. And just like that, the courtroom tension hit another level. But wait, it gets even more intense. Insiders from Remy's holding facility started leaking info too. Word is, Remy's refusing all visits. Even Papoose hasn't been allowed to see her. The only person she's seen? Her lawyer. So now folks are asking, is she cutting off everyone or protecting them? Reddit went wild with conspiracy threads. Some fans think she's taking the fall. Others say she's plotting her next move. One thing's for sure, this case just keeps getting messier by the minute. One wild theory even claimed Jason didn't act alone, that Remy was actually covering for a second son the public doesn't even know about. It was chaos online, with conspiracies flying left and right. But no matter how crazy it got, the noise just kept getting louder. Then came the moment everything shifted again. The district attorney stepped up to the podium, facing a wall of cameras and flashing lights. What she said next was everywhere. Blogs, talk shows, news tickers. "Let me be very clear," she said. "No one is above the law, not even rap royalty. We believe Ms. Smith knew about the crime, helped cover it up, and attempted to obstruct justice. Boom. Headlines wrote themselves. The courtroom was packed for Remy's bail hearing. She didn't show up in person. She appeared on a video screen, wearing a beige jumpsuit, her face stone cold. Her lawyer tried to argue for release, bringing up her celeb status and how she's always shown up to court in the past. But the judge wasn't having it. He shot it down fast, saying the charges were too serious and that there was a risk she might try to influence witnesses. Just like that, Remy Ma was officially locked in. From killing it in rap battles to facing time on Rikers. From award shows to courtrooms. Her fall from grace was playing out live, and every new piece of leaked info just made it messier. And then, another bombshell hit. A new voice recording surfaced. This time not from jail, but from a wiretap. According to anonymous sources, Remy's phone had been under surveillance for weeks before her arrest. Authorities had been watching her closely, suspecting she was tangled up in something bigger. In the audio, she's allegedly heard saying, "If it comes down to it, I'll say I was never there. But if he folds, that's on him. I already did my time. I'm not doing it again." That line shook the internet. The meaning? Heavy. It pointed to forethought, a warning, a backup plan, maybe even a strategy to keep herself out of jail. That wiretap was never supposed to leak, but once it did, it spread like wildfire. Music blogs turned into legal breakdowns. Everybody turned into detectives overnight, zooming in on screenshots, breaking down timestamps, and digging through old interviews trying to catch any clue that Remy Ma might have been about that life. And let's be real, some of those old clips aged terribly. One Vlad TV interview blew up. Remy once joked, "If my son ever caught a body, I'd be there before the cops even showed up. That's my child." Back then, it got a laugh. Now, that same quote was looping on every platform like it was a premonition. While the internet dissected every frame and syllable, Remy's legal team scrambled to clean up the mess. Her lawyers dropped a public statement denying everything. They said the jail audio was twisted out of context, that the footage was too blurry to prove anything, and that Remy had a rock-solid alibi, but nobody was trying to hear all that legal talk. The public wasn't interested in excuses. They wanted someone to pay. And while all that noise was happening online, something even scarier was bubbling in the background. Word started to leak that prosecutors were cooking up something huge, a potential RICO case. Yeah, RICO, the kind of charge they usually hit whole gangs with. Whispers said they were trying to connect Remy, Jason, and possibly others to some kind of organized ring involving drugs, weapons, and murder. It sounded wild, but this was Remy Ma, an artist with a past, a rep, and receipts. She had tried to reinvent herself, sure, but the streets never forgot that she once did 6 years for shooting someone over a few $1,000s, and now? She was staring down the kind of sentence that don't come with a release date. As her next court date approached, it was clear. This wasn't your average celebrity scandal. This was a straight-up collapse. The fall of a hip-hop legend, dragged down by blood loyalty, silence that cracked, and a son who couldn't hold it down. By the time she walked into court for her arraignment, the public had already made up their mind. Outside the courthouse, protesters held signs that screamed, "Mothers don't murder," and "Justice for Tino." Inside, the hallways were packed. Reporters snapped every photo they could, of lawyers, bodyguards, and even the single tear that slid down Remy's face. But Remy wasn't shedding tears anymore. When she stepped into that courtroom, she moved like a woman on a mission. Head high, back straight, like this wasn't the downfall. It was the start of a war she fully intended to win. Her legal team entered a not guilty plea, no surprise there, but behind the scenes, everything was falling apart. Why? Because the one person she never thought would flip did. Jason? Yeah, her son. The same one who confessed. The same one who pulled her into this mess was now sitting with the prosecution. Sources say he took a deal, less time in exchange for full testimony, and he ran with it. In front of a grand jury, one insider says he dropped the line that crushed what was left of Remy's defense. "My mom didn't pull the trigger, but she knew. She was the first person I called." Then another bombshell leaked. "She told me what to throw away. She gave me gloves. She didn't ask questions. She just started cleaning." That was it. The DA didn't just have a case, they had an entire arsenal. Jail call? Check. Wiretap? Check. Video footage? Check. And now? Her own son testifying against her. That hit harder than anything. The betrayal sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop scene. It wasn't just tragic, it was heartbreaking. People watched Remy go from rap queen to alleged co-conspirator, and now her own blood had flipped. Fast. And just like that, the loyalty she was once known for? Gone. Artists who used to post her, praise her, defend her, vanished. They didn't want the smoke. Not after the tapes. Not after the court leaks. Even Fat Joe, her day one, her longtime brother in the game, unfollowed her the very next morning. No post, no explanation, just silence. Fans picked up quick. Papoose was gone. No court appearance, no tweets, no cryptic Bible verse, not even a black square on Instagram. The man who once repped black love like a badge? Silent, completely off the grid. Some insiders whispered he had already moved out of the house they shared. Others claimed he was prepping divorce papers. Nothing's been officially confirmed, but one thing's crystal clear. The black love era, done, over, finished. And as Remy sat through court session after court session, the shift was undeniable. The tough exterior started to fade. No more fly outfits, no big shades hiding her eyes. Just a woman, cornered, exhausted, and being hit with every bad decision she thought she left buried. Then the prosecution dropped another bomb in court. Turns out, Remy had made a string of cash withdrawals right after the murder, stacking up to $47,000. Prosecutors allege some of that money was used to buy silence. Yup. One key witness who suddenly switched up their story, they were linked to a wire transfer connected to a shell company owned by one of Remy's longtime friends. Was it coincidence? Maybe. But the DA wasn't buying that. Not for a second. Now the story was evolving into something even darker. This wasn't just about Remy being caught in the mess. Prosecutors painted a picture of her trying to control it, silencing witnesses, ghosting evidence, protecting her son at all costs. They claimed she tried to mastermind a cleanup, quietly pay off people, make anyone who could speak up vanish from the picture. And the scariest part, it almost worked. Court documents revealed that without that jailhouse audio leak, the prosecution had next to nothing. That one tape cracked the whole case wide open. Without it, Remy might have walked. Now, she's facing the possibility of losing everything. And the people who once stood by her, already gone. The fingerprints? Inconclusive. The surveillance? Still grainy. The shell companies? All circumstantial. But that call, that voice, that one moment where Remy let her guard down? That's what sealed it. Now, she's facing obstruction, conspiracy, and accessory to murder, charges that could land her behind bars for 25 to life. And online, the response was brutal. TikTok blew up with reenactments of the jailhouse call. People acting it out, adding sound effects, even fake prison bars. Twitter dragged up every old clip where Remy called herself the realest in the game, just to roast her. Memes were everywhere, some comparing her to Mama D from Love and Hip Hop, others calling her the crime queen instead of rap queen. Instagram? No mercy. She ain't Remy Ma anymore, she Remy mugshot. Protect black mothers, unless they out here hiding bodies. The vibe shifted hard, from shock to straight-up mockery. People didn't just want her held accountable, they wanted her shamed, humiliated, and erased. And while the world kept watching, Jason, Remy's own son, was moved to a private facility. No more camera flashes, no more court clips, just silence. Some say he's in protective custody. Others believe he's being prepped to deliver the final testimony, the one that could bury his mom for good. But even with all that, the internet hasn't spared him either. A leaked voicemail from a family member hit social media, and one line in particular went viral. "You got your own mother locked up. Ain't no coming back from that." And honestly, a lot of folks agree, because even if Remy somehow beats this case, even if her legal team pulls off a courtroom miracle, her reputation is done, cooked. Radio stations have already pulled her tracks. Sponsorship deals? Gone. A planned documentary about her comeback? Canceled mid-edit? Her name's become toxic, unspoken, a cautionary tale. And through all this chaos, all the headlines, all the court updates, some fans are still left asking one simple, painful question: why? Why would she get involved? Why would a woman who rebuilt her entire life, got her music career back, her man by her side, her family together, risk everything for a mistake her son made? It don't make sense until you look at it through one lens. She's a mother, and that might just be the most heartbreaking part of all this. Because no matter how hard she tried to stay out of trouble, no matter how far she came from those prison bars, that loyalty, that deep, blinding, desperate love made her step in for someone she probably should have stepped away from. Now she's paying the price. Her final court date is locked in for next month. And prosecutors, they're coming loaded. Over 12 witnesses lined up, including Remy's former manager, a cousin, a forensic expert, and yeah, maybe even Papoose if he agrees to take the stand. There's talk of unreleased body cam footage, messy voice notes, and a burner phone pulled from a trash bin outside a recording studio. Prosecutors say it all leads back to her. The judge already called this a high-risk case. That means no cameras, no media circus, no live streams. The courtroom's gonna be sealed, but come on now. We know how this works. Leaks are guaranteed. Because when it comes to Remy Ma, silence doesn't last. Not in her world, not in this kind of story, and definitely not in a downfall this massive. This ain't just a murder trial, it's the collapse of a legacy. A mother, a rapper, a fighter, a woman who beat the odds once, survived prison, relationship drama, public humiliation, only to land right back where she fought so hard to escape from. Behind bars. Not because she pulled the trigger, but because when it mattered most, she couldn't walk away. And now that jailhouse audio keeps echoing through every phone speaker, every podcast, every gossip thread, that line, "I told him to stay quiet," is haunting. It's everywhere. It's the sound of a legend slipping away. So the real question now, was Remy Ma just a mother trying to shield her son? Or was she something else entirely? A woman so tangled up in loyalty, legacy, and lies, she forgot where the line was. Because truth is, this wasn't just about love. It was about control, about secrets, and believing no one would ever find out. But they did, and the receipts showed up, loud, clear, and deadly. The receipts didn't just come in documents or leaked audio. They came in her own son's voice, cracking on the stand, saying things no child should ever have to say about their own mother. It was raw, painful, and unforgettable. And now, we wait. We wait on the verdict. We wait for that final piece of evidence to drop. We wait to find out if Remy Ma gets remembered as a fighter who lost it all, or a chilling reminder of how far someone will go to protect a name that's already faded. But while the courtroom goes quiet, we want to hear you. Did Remy Ma deserve to be arrested? Was Jason really out of line or just scared, speaking his truth? Is this the end of her career, or just another dark chapter in her already twisted saga? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you're still in shock from all the dramas. Subscribe if you want the next leak before it hits the blogs. Share this with your crew. Let's get everybody talking. Because here at Gossip Spill Vibe, we don't sugarcoat, we don't speculate, we expose. See you in the next video. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.